Greetings, YouTube. Happy Sunday. You know, this was a day for years that never had offers. It was almost like Kabam was religious and they decided to have a Sabbath day away from offers and rest. But that changed a couple years ago, and now I would say there's a coin flip RNG shot at having the opportunity to grade a quote unquote deal. And that is no different today. You can see in the banner here, we've got some crystals, but we also have a Thronebreaker Tier 5 pack. Now, these actually make me upset for Cavalier players. Because for a long time, and I guess for a long time, I should say for about a year or more, whenever Tier 5 Class Catalyst fragment selectors were in the user store, the unit store, they were always for Cavalier and above. And of course, Cavalier players, so many of them, have completed Act 6 but do not have a rank 3 6-star, and so this was the best way to spend cash to get there. Well, now it is a Thronebreaker Tier 5 pack, 3 Tier 2 Alphas, 1 fully formed Tier 5 Basic, and a 20% Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Selector. Now, the good news is this is $10 cheaper than what we are used to seeing. In fact, in some ways, this is even more inexpensive than what we're used to seeing, because what I want you to think about is the past year plus of $49.99 asking price for a 10% Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Selector, whereas we've only seen the 20 a few times for 50, never 40. And, you know, on one hand, and it's very ironic because I always go for mutant, and of course the mutant class, which I'm guessing is, for the most part, the most sought after class in the Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Selector. The marketing department of Kabam would know that better than anybody. The mutant is the banner of this. So for $80, which, look, I know $80 is a crazy amount of money, but it's $80 is cheaper than 2 Cavalier Early Access bundles, which are $100 total, and a lot of people buy both of those because I get those submissions on the channel every couple weeks, and they guarantee nothing besides 6 30% greater champion boosts, 2,000 6-star shards, and 10 gamble crystals. This is 100% guaranteed value. The Tier 5 Basic is fully formed. The 3 Tier 2 Alphas are obviously a little bit more than $10 a piece. We're looking at about $13 a piece. But it's the 20%er that this would be so helpful to Cavalier players. I'm not saying Thronebreaker players don't deserve it. They do. But, God, this would be so helpful. Let's just check to see I'm not missing anything with the Cavalier. Let's see. Thronebreaker Tier 5. Okay. Well, so is it the same price for everybody? Let's scroll up. Those who have become a Thronebreaker get the following. Okay, well, it doesn't say prices on these. You all get essentially half of what Thronebreakers get. 10% instead of a 20%, but at least it's a selector. Literally half of the Tier 5 Basic Catalyst. And then 2/3 of the Tier 2. And then Conquerors get a Tier 4 Catalyst Fragment Pack, a 50% Tier 4 Class Catalyst Fragment. Like, can't even give them a fully formed 1 Tier 4 Basic and 1 Tier 1 Alpha. Please don't tell me that's the same price. Let's scroll to the right. Let's just see if... Okay, so sometimes you can see everything in the unit store that everybody's offered. All the prices are... Not this time. So let's just assume for the moment that it's the same price. $40 for a 10% Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Selector, half a Tier 5 Basic, and 2 Tier 2 Alphas. Well, that could get some Cavalier players to Thronebreaker. But the gap of value between Cavalier and Thronebreaker has never been more wide than today's offer. I mean, literally, it's double the value of everything but Tier 2 Alphas, which are pretty dang easy to get now if you're Thronebreaker. if you're Thronebreaker and you need tier 5 class catalyst fragments, this is at least a B value. I mean, it's a very solid value. You buy both of them, you get almost half of a tier 5 class catalyst. That is the best we've seen in 2021. But if you're Cavalier, I mean, at least you have a selector, but the 10% versus 20 really is so significant. Gosh, the gap between Cavalier and Thronebreaker continues to grow. That's my takeaway from today's offers. I wish I had a better takeaway, but I would rather have, if I'm a Cavalier player, I'd rather have what they gave me today in the 10% Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Selector than if it was a 20% Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Crystal with the RNG that gives you no chance to control what class it lands on. So the Selector is good, but man, why couldn't they have given Thronebreakers like Tier 6 Basic and then kept the Cavalier Thronebreaker percent the same? I know they want people to be desperate to progress, but Cavalier players just keep getting the shaft. And like I said, my takeaway from today's offers that the gap between Cavalier and Thronebreaker continues to widen.